With the new tariffs in place, you can be sure that nothing on the market will be the same ever again. And nowhere is that more present than with the automotive industry, most of all, pickup trucks. In the next couple of months, you can expect well-adored vehicles to lose popularity instantly, and those that are more vilified to gain traction rapidly. So let's verse you in with the future of the American truck market as we take you through the 4 pickup trucks to avoid and 4 to buy when tariffs strike. Let's first start with those that are going to be hit the hardest. Number 4, Ford F-150. Oh yeah, the well-adored F-150 is about to experience its biggest crisis in decades. As with the new tariffs in place, its price will rise significantly. Unfortunately for the pickup trucks that symbolizes our nation, the F-150 isn't even that American to begin with. In fact, only a minor part of it is made in the US, with most other parts coming from all around the world, most notably Mexico and Canada. This is not good news for F-150 lovers because thankfully, even though only 30% of its parts are made domestically, the F-150 is still at least being assembled in the US, which allows it to sit in 58th place out of 100 total contestants on the American Made Index list, putting it in the middle of the pack. So even though it will be hit with the new pricing changes, the F-150 sales aren't going to be drastically changed for the worse, primarily because America is in love with it, and then because there are other full-size trucks that performed even worse, but more on that later. Number 3, Toyota Tacoma. The king has fallen, as some would say. The Toyota Tacoma's long reign over its rivals is about to end because of these issues with the tariffs. The new Tacoma has already experienced problems with its sales due to a very tall price tag, which has been accompanied by low towing and payload capacity. However, it was still the best-selling truck because buyers could still swallow Toyota's asking price. That won't be the case anymore because the Toyota Tacoma is built and assembled in Mexico as of the current generation. This means that the price increases for the Tacoma will be substantial, and the pickup truck is sure to lose quite a bit of audience because of it. Unfortunately, the Tacoma isn't present on the AMI list. However, by the info we've managed to gather, most of the truck's components are sure to get far pricier to make than they were before. Number 2, Ford Maverick. And there goes Ford's little breadwinner. It was fun while it lasted. The Ford Maverick is about to see a massive decrease in sales in the upcoming months, partially because, well, the facelifted model costs way too much already to justify its purchase, but mostly because it's being made in Hermosillo, Mexico. Again, this truck hasn't been featured on the AMI list. However, it's already pretty certain that it will be hit dearly by the upcoming tariffs. In our opinion, the Maverick's price is going to jump to over $30,000 for the entry-level model if Ford does not come to their senses and starts making a truly bare-bones model like they did initially with the pre-facelift. But even then, we don't expect the little truck to survive the onslaught of both tariffs and cheap mid-size pickup trucks, which is why we gave it such a high place on our list. Shame really, as with it, the compact truck segment will wither away too, as the Santa Cruz is selling badly already. Number 1, Chevrolet Silverado and GMC Sierra. Here they are, one of the last American-made pickup trucks in the US. Sitting at 89th and the 90th place on the AMI list, the 2 GM full-size twins are built all across North and Central America, which is good news because some of the Central American capacities can be moved to the US. The bad news is that virtually the entire pickup truck is made outside the United States, including most of its engines, the assembly in general, as well as the electrical and suspension components, all of which are sourced from either Mexico or Canada. As a result, the Silverado will lose its only real virtue over its 2 direct American rivals, its low price. It'll now be far more expensive than before, and as such, will turn into a pretty hard sell compared to the F-150 and the Ram 1500. In addition to that, the GMC Sierra will far outprice the Ram 1500, which is its more direct competitor due to their upmarket nature, which means that most Sierra buyers will just switch to the Ram 1500. But all is not lost, as there are quite a bit of trucks that you guys will love because of their price mostly remaining intact. Number 4, Ram 1500. Well, at least there's something properly American that we can recommend, and that's the Ram 1500. This gorgeous pickup truck is about to go through a renaissance in the next few months because, for one, it's the most American-made, American-brand full-size truck, and second, because you can now excuse yourself and go for a more luxury-oriented truck due to other models growing in price more so than the Ram. In fact, the Ram 1500 has performed even better prior to the facelift. However, due to the Hurricane 6 engine and the 3.6-liter Pentastar V6 being made mostly outside of the US, that rating has dropped a bit. Still, the Ram 1500 sits proudly on 42nd place on the AMI list, which is pretty good news in these trying times, and over 50% of the vehicle has been domestically made, which really drives home the idea of buying American, even with tariffs in place. Number 3. Honda Ridgeline. Let's get something out of the way. Out of all the pickup trucks in the United States, the Ridgeline is the most American-made one, ranking in at the number 6 overall place out of 100, with over 70% of it being produced in the US. So why such a lowly place on our list? Well, primarily because the Honda Ridgeline has always been a very controversial and situational vehicle, and most people buying a truck aren't going to look at the Ridgeline. Because of its unibody platform, the Ridgeline is more of an SUV with a bed in the back than anything else, making its target audience considerably smaller compared to its other mid-size pickup truck rivals. That said, if you're looking for a mid-size truck, we would suggest you take a look at the Ridgeline. If you're not really into towing and off-roading, and you need a truck just because of its bed, then the Ridgeline might just be the best truck for you, especially since it'll be almost completely unharmed by the tariffs. Number 2. Toyota Tundra. Well, what do you know? Another Japanese truck makes the most American list. The Toyota Tundra literally laughs in the face of its direct competition currently, as despite having a rough start in its current generation, the appearance of tariffs will most certainly bring it up front in the full-size pickup truck race, neck to neck with the big three. Sure, its twin-turbo V6 has had some issues. However, all of that will have been resolved by now, and the Tundra now represents the best value and a perfect middle ground between the Ford F-150, the Silverado, and the Ram 1500. Its sophisticated suspension, while not as good as the Ram, offers a far better ride than any of its other rivals, while its towing capacity of 12,000 pounds is more than enough for 90% of people. And because it sits on the 20th place on the AMI list, with 60% of it being made in the US, including all of the main production parts and components, the Tundra is sure to become even better in terms of value. Number 1. Chevrolet Colorado and GMC Canyon. Tacoma buyers, say hello to your new pickup truck of choice. That's right, the Chevy Colorado and GMC Canyon will now all but officially become America's new midsize sweethearts. The new Colorado and Canyon have already been eating into the Tacoma's sales, alongside the Ford Ranger. However, with both the Ranger and the Tacoma being hit because of tariffs, the GM twins will finally be able to shine. These two are almost completely made in the United States, with over 50% being built domestically, granting them 23rd and 24th place on the AMI list. Additionally, if you ask us, both the Colorado and the Canyon were better trucks than the new Tacoma from the get-go. The Colorado offered a better powertrain, a crew cab, and better overall performance, at a significantly lower price tag than a Tacoma. On the other hand, the Canyon offered a far more premium interior and drastically nicer amenities than the Tacoma, at a very minor premium. And now, they'll both play into their strengths even further, which will only mean one thing: a rise of sales at the expense of the Tacoma. Honestly, in this bad economy, and with the tariffs on the rise, these two are the best pickup trucks you can buy, period, if you don't specifically need the towing and payload capacity of a full-size truck.